Welcome to Whiskey and Whitetails, a show for those that hunt with a passion and drink with a purpose. As always, I am your host, Gus.
I am Matt.
Yeah, he is. And as always, thanks you to our Patreon, our executive producers, for helping us put together this show and keeping us squared and in check. Thank you to the Waypoint Network for having us, and thank you to you, our listeners, for supporting us and listening to us bitch and complain and do all the awesome things we do. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. You know what the deal is. We got a pretty fun one for you. We go a little harder into some whiskey stuff this week. So
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while, so that's
Yeah.
nice. We also had a let me see if I can show. Boom. Bottle pop exclusive this episode.
yeah, new bottle pop.
Popped a Traveler whiskey. Talked about it for a little bit. The results may surprise you.
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah. But no ads. Maybe next week.
Maybe so. All right. Enjoy the episode, folks.
Have a good one. Hey, morning.
Well, we're live. We're live. We're live and alive.
Good morning.
We normally record these in the evenings, but
Yeah.
if you're listening to this on a Monday morning, we're recording it during the morning. So
Yeah. Saturday morning, and I sound louder than normal.
probably turn
all
yourself
that
up
down.
a little louder.
Huh?
So you probably turned it all up.
Yeah. Should be good now. One thing I was thinking would be fun is if we had did an episode where we did like a walkout song.
A walkout song?
Yeah, like pick a song that you really want to do.
Uh-huh.
And it's like when we introduce ourselves and play like our song in the background.
Oh, like a baseball game.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a 5-second clip of a song. I already have mine.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll do some research I'll make some choices this week and we'll do it next week.
Okay. Sounds good. We had a correction, I guess, maybe. I don't know. From last episode, we were talking about the duck stamps.
Oh, yeah.
One of our executive producers, Colton, doing what they're supposed to do, did some research. And so the digital duck stamp starts next year. So the 2023-2024 season is still regular duck stamps. But
yeah. And I think in retrospect, I think I knew that. I read that. I just kind of glossed over it and didn't do much with it.
I didn't read it. I was just banking off what you said.
Sorry, my bad.
In other news, you see that PETA is now protesting against the Crown, specifically the guards that wear those bearskin hats. Yeah.
Right.
They're
whatever.
Demanding that the UK cease to be using bearskin hats.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck. Exactly. That's what I thought.
Yeah. You go ahead. If you can undo probably centuries of tradition and military custom, have at it.
Well, they've kind of done a lot of that here with like I don't even know what all the bases. They all have new names.
Well, it's not PETA though.
I know. It's just it's a similar.
Yeah, I don't think that the Brits have the stomach for. I think they're going to probably push back on that a lot harder than most of our, unfortunately, politically correct, afraid to. It doesn't matter. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope it doesn't happen, because that would be really sad to get rid of their traditional dress uniform. But maybe they compromise and they're like, all right, we'll use carpet instead of bearskin.
I don't know. I've been fortunate enough to see them up close and personal. It's pretty cool. There's those kind of places. If you ever have the opportunity, anybody listening, or to travel overseas and see places that are older than the United States is in terms of tradition and architecture and things like that, it's really cool. It definitely feels different. Like you can feel the tradition and the history. Yeah. I don't know. Sounds corny, but you really can.
I'm down with that. Maybe one day I'll make it. Probably not, because it looks like travel these days is pretty difficult, especially in an airplane.
Yeah. Doors blowing off and.
Right. They were talking about that at a meeting I was in last week, or this, whatever, a couple days ago, and one of the guys was flying out, and they ended up canceling his flight because it was one of those planes or whatever, and they're all grounded now. And he was talking about the solution is literally like a doorstop plug that they're putting into this to stop it from leaking air pressure or whatever was wrong with it.
Jesus.
I was like, oh,
That
that makes
sounds
it
fun.
look good. And then we get all those alerts, at work about certain airports we shouldn't travel to. And it's like
Sure.
all over the world, dude. People are striking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like if you
I'm not
fly to,
surprised.
can't remember, I think it was France was one of them. Like, if you fly there, you're probably gonna have a hard time flying back.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough time right now with everything going on in the world to travel abroad, it seems.
Yeah. I wonder if the entire world inflation is up, or if it's just the U.S.
I don't know, man. I don't pay enough
I don't
attention
either.
to global, economics, but I'm sure with the way things are going right now in the world, I'm sure we're not the only one hurting.
Yeah. Jeez, keep dropping that. I'm just gonna stop touching it. All right. So I've been pretty excited to drink this.
Oh, yeah.
Man. By the way, I'm getting a thing. I don't know. I got a throat tickle. I've coughed a couple of times without wanting to cough. I don't ever get
Uh-oh.
sick, so I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna keep on keeping on. But so I made it 11 days into not drinking.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing dry, as I've said before. I wasn't doing dry January. I just didn't trust myself on carnivore to eat or to drink and then eat, which I
Not
did.
eating junk food.
Yeah. And I did it. I did it. I ate peanut butter.
Oh, no.
I know. So disappointed in myself.
But you talked about peanut butter like 3 days ago, like it's been on your mind hard.
A lot. I love peanut
Was
butter.
it everything you imagined it would be?
Yeah. And it was I finished off a can of like honey what's the
Uh,
peanut butter? Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, yeah, honey Peter
Peter
Pan.
Pan honey. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crushed it.
it's good shit.
And then I went and bought, because I was like, if you do that again, it can't be loaded with sugar, honey, peanut butter. So I went and bought natural peanut butter, like with the oil in it and stuff.
Yeah,
Shit's so thick, dude. I don't know. It's
it's
hard
not
to,
the same.
I can't just eat spoonful after spoonful. It dries me out.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. And then, like, I try to store it upside down because it makes all the oil
Yeah, that's what I
go
do.
back to the bottom, so then when you flip it back over, but then inevitably someone doesn't seal it all the way,
Yeah, and it leaks
and it ends up
everywhere.
leaking everywhere. It's
Yeah.
a mess.
Yep. I got mine upside down in the cabinet right meow. I'm proud of myself though. This morning I went to 7 Stars, had their allocation day.
Oh, yeah, how'd that go?
Um, Fine. I mean, I didn't win anything, but I wasn't expecting to win anything. It was funny because he was calling stuff, and like the second thing he called, he said my name, and then I was like, sick. And then he goes, "Up, nope, sorry, next name down." It said it was somebody else.
Oh,
I was like, "You
maybe
son of a bitch."
wasn't very nice.
Yeah, I think he did it on
Probably did
purpose.
probably did it on purpose.
I think he did, but it's
Mess
fine.
with you.
But yeah, we were gonna go get Tyler. I went with Tyler, and he was like, "I'm gonna go get a bagel." I was like, "Well, I'll go with you, and I'll get coffee." And we were telling Chris that, and he gave him a box full of chicken minis from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I love those. Didn't I like opened it and looked at it, thought about it for a little while, but I did not eat any.
Good for you.
Yeah, pretty proud. Pretty proud.
Good for you.
And
Jessica
then
made homemade buttermilk biscuits this morning, so I had that with eggs and bacon.
sounds good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. You were you really serious about thinking about doing what I'm doing? Because we were talking about it the other day.
Yeah, we're talking about it sounds fun. It's just like our environments are so different, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's easy for, Andy will kind of do her own thing if she wants, and you can do your own thing. But I'm feeding 3 kids' mouths, and nobody. I'd be doing it solely on my own with a lot of distractions in the house. So
Yeah.
it would be tough, but I could probably do it.
I'll tell you.
I would need to plan it like hardcore, like buy a week's worth of food, um, or meat, and like seriously meal plan. I couldn't do it day by day because then it just like I have a super busy day and it's 5:30 and it's now I'm starving, I'm hungry, and I can either figure out what piece of meat I'm gonna cook and how I'm gonna do that, or I could just eat lasagna or spaghetti like everybody else is eating. You know what I mean? It just
If I have time to make a meal, I'll make something. But if it's like
yeah,
I'm busy, we got stuff going on, I may not be home, whatever. I turn the sous vide on, throw like the steak in there,
yeah.
and then I figured it out. 137 is the temperature in which fat renders.
Okay.
Beef fat, tallow, or not tallow, but the fat that's in the ribeye.
Yeah.
So I do 137 for like an hour and a half, hour 40, hour 20. Depends on if I
Hmm.
can wait any longer. Um, and then a quick sear, dude, money. It's
Good stuff.
yeah. Doesn't bother me eating the fat at all. It's like the fat is like butter. It
Oh,
just
I bet.
you bite and it just falls apart in your mouth.
A sous vide has been on my list of things to buy forever, and I've just one of those things. I just haven't pulled the trigger on. I need to.
It's just it's so simple for that because it cooks for 2 hours, and you just go down there and sear it, and you're done. Um,
Yeah.
but I went
Yep.
and bought brass towns yesterday, so I had one last night, and I'm gonna have one today. Man, brass town beef is it's hard to beat.
Yeah. Where do you buy that at?
Burbage in West Ashley.
Okay. Yeah. 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 They have a location up here, I think, somewhere.
Oh, do they?
I'm pretty sure it's Burbage's.
You know the guy that killed? He shot the cop dog, and then they filled him full of lead on John's
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah.
His last name was Burbage, and I always wondered if they were related.
Oh no. Who knows?
I guarantee they were.
It's not a. It's a pretty. It's not a super common name.
No.
It's one of those family names around here.
Yeah.
It would be akin to. Well, we won't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Anyway.
Probably. Yeah. So we bought our tickets. So and got an Airbnb. So we're 1,000% committed now. We'll be
Yep.
in Pennsylvania at the Great American Outdoor Show from the. Are we going to go on the Thursday when we get there? Or are we just going to kind of kick it on Thursday and then go Friday, Saturday? What's the
Oh, I
plan?
don't know. I mean, we got 2 full days to be
Yeah.
there, so I don't know. I think Thursday just kind of take it easy.
Cool.
Maybe see the town. I don't know that I've ever been to. I already forgot what city that is.
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Hershey's not too far from there. You can go see the Hershey chocolate plant.
Then I have been because I didn't tour or anything or like visit, but I think we drove by
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I went during the off season, which it might be now because it's cold. It's colder than hell, I'm sure, up there. Which I was just thinking about. It's gonna be way cold when we're up there in February.
Uh, so we can go to the National Civil War Museum,
Well, that'd be cool.
the State Museum of Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Farm Show and Complex,
Mm.
Appalachian Brewing Company. I don't know, some mansions. There is Hershey Park.
Yep. Yeah, I went during the off. Like, I was up there for a hockey tournament when I was in high school, and it was off season, so like the amusement park portion of it was closed down, but we still went into like the little part of the factory or the museum there where you can take a little ride through this interactive thing that shows you the history of Hershey and all the stuff they make and how they make it, and you can buy fresh candy and stuff.
Yeah, I think that we went there during off season. Maybe that's what it was. Fort Hunter Mansion and Park. I don't
Fort
know.
Hunter.
F&B Field. F&B's, dude.
F&B's. F&B's.
So I got this Traveler whiskey.
Yeah.
I want to try it. So for those that don't know, I'll just read the back. Good whiskey is like a good song. It requires no explanation. One taste should tell you everything you know. No one has to tell you how to feel about it. You simply settle in and enjoy. For this first of its kind collaboration from Buffalo Trace Distillery, Traveler brings together the collective artistry of Chris Stapleton and master distiller Harlan Wheatley. Blend number 40 is the carefully curated result of countless hours of testing and tasting. It's a completely unique combination of whiskeys from award-winning distillers and exactly what you'd expect. A premium whiskey that speaks for itself. And then it's got, printed signatures. Proudly blended and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery. So notice it doesn't say it was distilled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's not, but it just
Also,
on the
not
front it
saying that it
says
definitely is.
blended whiskey. I don't know. The thing about it is Buffalo Trace themselves, I'm not aware of a Buffalo Trace product that is a whiskey other than Sazerac products. So Sazerac products, that makes a lot of whiskey stuff. There's rumors this is Canadian. There's rumors it's got vodka in it. I promise you it doesn't. It says right there on the front, it's blended whiskey. So there's no vodka in this. It has to be grain spirit. So It could be a blend of rye, bourbons, whiskey all
Yeah,
together. Who knows?
and
I don't know.
it says they tasted, sampled over 50 blends. So
Who's they? Because Chris Stapleton is sober, many
yeah, it's
years
a
sober.
good question. I have no idea. So whoever at Buffalo Trace was involved with doing this tasted over, sampled over 50 blends. It says, which is probably like 51 or 52. Otherwise, why wouldn't you just put the number? Um,
Everything I saw was 50, and I feel like they're probably full of shit. I feel like there's a lot of marketing in there.
yeah,
Like, we
probably.
tasted over 50. Yeah, but was it 50? You tasted 50 things trying to make this blend, or you just tasted 50 things?
Yeah,
Like, they
yeah. Who
tasted 50
knows?
things, and they were like, this one's okay. And then they were like, oh, we'll call it Traveler. And Chris Stapleton can be, I'm bleeding on the bottle. Jeez. I'm a bleeder. Yeah, I don't know. Let's give it a pop. Yeah, that's pretty good. Smack the shit out of
Nice.
the mic, but
That sounded cool.
yeah. So it's pretty light in color.
Yeah,
Very light in color. Has some
probably some
fruit on the
young stuff
nose.
in there.
Probably is. Some good fruit on the nose.
One
Smells
thing
light.
that one thing that I think we see, I think, well, that if you pay attention, you'll just observe yourself in the industry when you have these, um, whiskeys that are collaborations between celebrities and a distillery. Um, there's generally a rush, right, to get a product out the door because everybody's in it to make money, right? So waiting for or utilizing 4+ old year old whiskey doesn't always jive with that agenda.
Yeah.
How's it taste?
So it's like, I don't know, the vanilla caramel stuff is there, but the fruit does come through some.
Hmm.
It's like it is pretty buttery. There's no burn at all.
Hmm.
And that's funny because some of the reviews I read were like, "Oh, it's a straight throat punch. Like just right off the nose, all you smell is alcohol." I don't know. I don't really get that much alcohol on it. I mean, it's 90 proof, so
Yeah, it is on the low end.
I will say I like it more than I wanted to. I wanted to come in here and trash it, but it's
Yeah.
not terrible. I mean, for the
I'll,
price for 30, if you paid $100 for it, then yeah, I'd be pretty judgmental. But I paid $32, so
oh,
for
really?
32 bucks, it's not bad.
I'll have to pick up a bottle. I think I saw some at to be honest with you, I didn't until you texted me and I looked it up, I didn't even know what the hell it was. I think I've seen it and just wrote it off because I'd never seen it before.
I will say it tastes like if you took a good bourbon and watered it down too much. That'll be my only negative. But if you look past the watered down too much,
Yeah.
for those saying it's over or tastes like high, alcohol, I'm not getting that at all. But I also drink high proof shit, so I don't know. It tastes watered down to me.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, it's not bad. I'm gonna drink it. You
That's
could
good.
definitely, if you're trying to be cool and do some chugs, this is 100% a chuggable bottle.
Nice.
If I didn't have
Yes,
to go under the house and work with power tools, I might do a chug.
the website says Traveler whiskey is easy to drink, hard not to love.
Okay. I don't know. I don't, like I said, I wanted to shit on it, but I'm not going to.
Oh,
I
well,
think there's way worse stuff out there.
100%.
It's definitely not. It's not terrible.
That's what I love about whiskey is that you pay $32 for that, and that could easily be someone's daily drinker, and it's not that
Yeah.
expensive.
For
You know,
$32, I will say it's good. If you were to put this next to other 32, I might do that later. Just blind myself
yeah,
and do like similar price and proof ranges.
sure.
This does have a distinct taste though, so I feel like I'd be able to pull it out. Like this doesn't taste like Jim Beam or any of the other
Hmm.
100 proof stuff or under 100 proof stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could take other similarly proofed things, like Blanton's, which is ridiculous, and comes in at what is it, 90 proof as well, or in that ballpark.
Yeah.
87, something like that. I mean, if it's just as good or better, or my point is that there's other whiskeys out there for double, triple that price that
Hmm.
I know I've not enjoyed. So
Yeah.
further proof, you don't have to pay a lot of money for a decent whiskey.
I talk a lot of shit about Buffalo Trace, but no, mainly because their marketing is whoever they pay to do their marketing is like the A team. I'm convinced you could take a shitty company, not even a whiskey company, just a shitty company, and then have whoever does Buffalo Trace's stuff, have them run that company, the marketing for it, and it would
Yeah.
crush. Because like
Yeah.
even we've talked about it before, how they talk about it's the oldest, um, the history of Buffalo Trace, like it's the oldest distillery or whatever. But I mean, the
Right.
fact is, it was like in the late 1800s that Colonel E.H. Taylor built that distillery,
Hmm.
and it was called the OFC distillery, not Buffalo Trace. So when they say that it's the oldest operating distillery, they're talking about the actual,
Physical.
yeah, the physical place. It's not a Buffalo
Right.
Trace distillery.
Not the brand.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
fun.
that's marketing trickery, which we've talked about extensively when it comes to whiskey. It's not
Yeah,
surprising.
it was the George T. Stagg distillery, and then it was the which you can still see it, OFC, the Old Fire Copper Distillery.
Hmm.
That's what it was named before that.
Yeah, there's a video, or it's a snippet from it's either a movie or a TV show, and the guy kind of goes on a rant about, and this is relevant to marketing, but he says, you hear the saying, "Life gives you lemons, make lemonade."
Yeah,
And he's like, "No, you don't. Life gives you lemons. You launch a whatever something multifaceted marketing campaign.
of how rare lemons are.
How rare lemons are, but
Yeah,
first you have to control the supply, and then you
right.
do this, and you
Create
get
the
this, and
demand.
right, and he said, and then and only after and only after you've cashed in on millions, whatever, do you sit down and make lemonade." It's like,
Yeah,
geez.
right.
It was just a good example that you can, with the right power and money behind anything, you can make anything seem scarce, seem like the next new thing. You
Mhm.
just got to have the right people and money behind it. And Buffalo Trace certainly does a good job. I just saw a thing on their website. They partnered up with Wrangler to release, a line of like flannel shirts and like fleece jackets, and they look really
Yeah.
nice. But you can probably buy the same thing with just Wrangler's name on it, and it's probably $40. But
Funny about
the
it is everybody saying like, "Well, it's the reason it's allocated because it's good." And no, it's like they have plenty of whiskey. They're not allocated because they don't have enough, as you can tell by all of the shit they're making, like
right, they're
Traveler.
controlling the demand.
Yeah, they're making sure there's always a demand for the product, which is smart. I mean, the Sazerac company is a privately held American company, and they're
Yeah.
in New Orleans, but they have a principal office in Louisville. But
Hmm.
it's owned by billionaire William Goldring and his
Yeah,
family.
you don't get to be a billionaire by not being smart and
Right.
controlling your product demand.
It's the largest spirits company in the U.S. They have like their annual revenue is $1 billion, over $1 billion a year.
It's wild.
Yeah, but it used to be known as the Sazerac Coffee House in 1869, and it was owned by Thomas H. Handy, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with that name. Sazerac bought it in 1992. Yeah,
Yeah, this have you ever broke down the difference like between a million and then a billion? Because I feel like people throw those numbers around a lot and they don't
dude, it's one of my
comprehend the
favorite.
difference.
Have you done it in days?
Yeah, well, I was gonna do it right now. Just like so, like if you were to do it in seconds, right? A million seconds is 12 days,
Yeah,
but a billion seconds is 31 years.
yeah, it's
And a trillion is 31,688 years.
yeah,
So whenever you have people and like people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and they're like, net worth 250 whatever $billion, and people, and yes, I get it. Like that's not all liquid cash, but that's a fuck ton of money.
yeah. Yeah, we're so used to the million and billions. Like everybody thinks after a million and one is a billion, but it's like it's 100 million. It's
Yeah.
way they're way different numbers.
Well, I'm convinced that our government has put together a psyop to push and use those numbers all the time, just constantly throwing them around so that they become a norm. So that
Yeah,
whenever they talk about our trillions of dollars in debt, that we just like, oh, just no. It's just the next one after billion. No big deal.
100%. Yep, that's what everybody thinks. There's no 2 million. It just goes from 1 million straight to 1 billion.
It's so wild.
Speaking of fun facts, we're going to do a giveaway. We don't know
yeah.
exactly what we're going to do with the giveaway yet, but we're going to make it really easy. We're going to have a phone number that you call in, probably the Whiskey and Whitetails phone number. So you call in, we'll hook it up to the thing, or we'll find some way to do it. We might do it Patreon only. I don't know. We'll see. I guess it depends on the prize. If the prize is something crazy, we're going to do it Patreon only. But anyway, all you got to do is call in and tell us a fact we do not know. That's it. And we're not going to cheat and be like, "Oh yeah, I knew that." Right?
No,
Like for real.
blow our minds, blow our
Tell us
socks
something
off.
we don't know. Because mainly we think it'd be a fun podcast. There's a bunch of people calling in saying things that a lot of people probably don't know.
Yeah.
But if you tell us something we don't know, you will be entered to win. And we're only going to do like an hour podcast, and every call in we'll give you 5 minutes each. How about that?
Yeah. So are we gonna run through them all and then pick the one that we like the best? I mean, what if every single one just comes through with a banger, cool fact that we've never did know before?
I don't know. We'll have to. If it's not fair, we'll have to just like giveaway wheel it or something.
Okay, that works.
But if we're like, that's a badass fact, I want to take that. But just be careful, because I'm kind of like the king of random facts. So you're gonna have to get pretty.
Combined between the two of us, we know a lot of random shit.
You're gonna have a hard time.
It's or maybe not. We don't know.
If it's about whiskey or hunting, you're probably wasting your time. So you're gonna have to go like something crazy, like Amtrak, like some Amtrak facts I don't know. Now I'm gonna read up on Amtrak, so you can't use that. I'm gonna be an Amtrak expert. Yeah.
I think we should probably come up with some pretty specific like topics. Otherwise, someone could just Google some really weird anthropology fact and come at me with some fact about some third world tribe that I never heard of or know anything about.
Yeah, but that would just get you entered. That doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna, like, if we're gonna pick the best one.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's what I'm getting at. We need to decide how we're gonna pick them.
Like,
I think it'd be more fun to just take in
an interesting fact about how roaches mate. I don't give a fuck how roaches mate. So. Sure, you're entered, but you're at the bottom of the list.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, put a little more work into it than Googling random facts. Because if you don't remember, some of the early days of our podcast, we did a random fact of the week, and the reason we quit doing it is because it got hard to find something we didn't know. Oh yeah. There you go. We even paid to have somebody make that jingle for
that.
Funny. I forgot we had
this funny. One. Yeah, we have that one in the sip. Yeah. Just the sip. That one's fun. The sip.
Speaking of just the sips, we might be able to spin that back up here soon.
Cool. Let's do it.
Collecting. So,
well, we need collecting, and we need to need folks to just like, we're not asking you to send us full bottles, but if you got something cool that you're experiencing that you come across, man, send us a little sample.
Yeah,
we'll shout you out. We'll maybe send you. Maybe we start putting together some little care package in exchange. You send us a little something, we'll send you a little care package in return.
I usually do. Usually it's we've sent people stuff, and then they send us stuff for just the sip.
Yeah.
We burned through them. It took a long time to get through them all.
Sure,
but we also still have the entire Weller mini bottle set up.
Oh, that's right. We still need to work through that for a show.
Yeah, it's just sitting in a drawer, so like I'm not using it or displaying it anywhere.
Yeah.
I also just got a box full of like Jim Beam decanters that still have whiskey in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I paid $30 a piece for them, so I got a box full of them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like how full? Like unopened?
Unopened.
No shit.
From the 80s, 70s, 80s. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that should be considered old, but those are considered dusties, yeah?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the 7. If it's older than me, it's definitely, I think they're all older than me, I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look.
Man.
Which that year would be 86, for those wondering.
That might be worth coming over to your house and doing an in person show or episode.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Set up cameras and like sit at the bar.
Good. I think the next house I'm going to build like a speakeasy thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool as if we continue and expand on our plan that we were talking about and have like a central location. We build like a big like community barn for
Yeah.
cookouts and just getting together and like build a underground speakeasy.
I'm down. Down for that for sure. Yeah, it'd be cool to have like out in the middle of the woods. I have so many ideas for making money on that property. Like one would be like just fucking with rich people. So I would it'd take a few years to build them, but I would build like a Christmas tree farm, like up in
Hmm.
the woods somewhere. So you had to hike up there and then offer like the Griswold family, whatever. So you
Scare.
show up and I got Bullwinkle glasses with eggnog and hot chocolate for the kids or whatever. And then you tell me your perfect tree. And then I go, I think I'll tell you what, feller, I think I got a spot up here. Might have exact tree. There's trees all over this property. Not really. They're all going to be in one spot, but
Right.
I'll sell the thing, the
Yeah,
experience.
that's funny.
And then we'll hike up there with a chainsaw and, uh, and cut down your perfect Christmas tree. I got all kinds of stupid ideas like that.
We find a we can decent size enough size property. Take a little take a corner somewhere, kind of away from all of us, and cut out a couple spots, far enough apart that they're not, right fucking next to each other, and have a little bit of privacy, and then put a couple of tiny homes
Yeah.
with an awning and a hot tub, and
Yep.
market them as like these little romantic getaways for like 400, $500 a night. Dude, people will eat that shit up.
Yeah. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff. I'm going to, especially now that I know that there's really no laws out there. Like they don't require permits. They don't give a shit. They don't care.
No.
They're like, yeah, buy it, whatever you want to. We were looking at one that's right in the middle of the national forest, and I had to reach out to the realtor because it was a good deal and it has a
Mhm.
beautiful little river running through it. I mean, it was
Nice.
perfect, but the land was owned by the USDA, and you're
Okay.
not allowed to put structures on it. So if you buy it,
Oh, no.
you just have the land. You could use it for hunting and stuff, but
Right, right, right.
so that
That's
was
unfortunate.
and the other thing
How
too is
much was that? I'm just, like, just curious, what something like
um,
that goes for.
I could pull it up and tell you.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew offhand, not a big deal.
I mean, I don't exactly remember, but it was
How far away from, like, things and civilization are the places you're looking?
probably
Like
like
a
an
grocery
hour
store?
outside of Lexington. Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not really. I plan to grow everything. So this lot is 71 acres. Like I said, it's in the middle of the national forest. Um, but it's 120 grand for
Okay, I
71
got you.
acres. It's got a river. It's got caves. It's got all kinds of stuff.
Got it. So I have to Jessica was sending me some properties that were similarly priced for, like, a lot of acreage, and I was like, "That seems like a really good deal, but keep in mind we still have to build stuff." So I was like, "So that's gonna bring the cost more in line with what we're seeing with properties that already have homes and stuff on them."
Yeah.
But, that makes even more sense if they might be, USDA properties that you can't, so you buy it and you actually own it, but then you can't do what you want with it? I don't It
You can
sounds more
hunt
like you're
on it. You can camp
leasing it.
on it. You can do whatever you want. Well, there's the other thing too is there's because it's in the middle of the national forest. There's no utilities going out, so it really doesn't matter.
No, drill a well,
Yeah, but you won't
solar
have power. I mean, you'd have to do
solar for
you have to
power.
do all that, but you're not allowed to build on it, so it really doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. That's skip all that stuff. That statement you said right there. You can purchase this land and you're gonna have to pay taxes on it, but you can't do what you want with it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's a
It's the very opposite.
conservation easement. I think it's because it's in the middle of the forest. That's like
Yeah,
360 degrees around it is national forest.
sure.
So they don't want somebody to come in there and put a steel
Yeah,
mill.
it's just a very government thing to do, like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you can give us money for this property and then pay us taxes on it, and you can do what you want on it except build stuff and live on it and do anything permanent." Just
Well,
I don't know.
I also wonder because of the caves if like you couldn't build on it anyway. And they're like, this place is dangerous. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Someone's going to sue the federal
Oh, a
government.
sinkhole or some
Yeah.
other shit. Yeah,
So let's
I
get
see
rid of it. I don't know. I don't know why it is. It be what it be, but it be.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing, depending on where you guys are looking and what you guys are looking at, that might be the only thing that would be a challenge for us is with the kids and stuff. We gotta be somewhat close to, like, some things. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you know how it is out there. I mean, we may
I
be
do.
30 miles from a store, and that's an hour and a half car ride. But
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so it's like I really don't know. I can look at a
Yeah, no.
map and see where the closest store is, but how far is that? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get you, and that's like we've been talking about it, property and that kind of thing. You know, she's very interested in having the ability to hunt and source our own meat and grow. You know, and have a couple cattle and raise them to be slaughtered at the end of the year, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So those things are very appealing, but then also having the ability to, like, if one of the kids wake up with 105 temperature, like, you need to get them to urgent care fairly quickly. Like, how long is that going to be, right? Like, just shit like that that we got to kind of consider. But
well, I think they're
it'll
getting past that age where they die easy. So, you know what I mean?
yes, very true. And I told we talked about that too. Like, part of living that kind of lifestyle is, it might mean that we all pitch in money and have somebody come out and teach us a course, similar to what you might have gotten before you deployed, some stop the bleed stuff, heart
Yeah,
stuff, have an AED or a couple of them on around the property. And we just have to be a little bit more self-reliant and take it upon ourselves to not rely on EMS to show up, because they're going to take 20 fucking minutes living out there.
yeah, they're not going to show up on time. If you need them,
Yeah.
you better know how to do it yourself. And that's one thing I've told like my wife. Um, like we have all that medical stuff. It's like
Yeah.
I'll show you how to use it all. We'll practice it. It seems really stupid to practice, but it's to have it like you know exactly what to do every time.
Yep.
Because really, just stop the bleeding. Anybody can do that. Like we're not talking about doing surgeries out here. We'll go to a hospital for that.
No.
But yeah, if I'm
How, how and where to apply
chainsawing
pressure.
something and it kicks back and blows my leg off, you need
Yeah.
to be able to stop that bleeding pretty quickly, calmly.
Right.
That way you're
Yeah.
paying attention. You're not rushing it. Because if you do it wrong, you might as well not have done it. But
Yep. Yeah.
yeah,
All stuff to consider and things we've been, talking about. But I love the idea, like, kind of like you talked about, of having a small community of people that you like, you trust. Everybody can sort of, like, hey, I'm really into this and I want to take on this sort of thing. Cool. Maybe do it times the amount that needs to be done for the little community. And then someone has enough, maybe everybody has chickens, but one person has 3 times as many chickens and they're just kind
yeah,
of the chicken person for eggs. Like, we just make our own little community. It'd
yep.
be really dope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The only downside is we're looking at about 100 acres, and that'll go quick. If you're
Oh, for sure.
like, if I want her parents to come out there, so like, because they're old timey and they know a bunch of stuff, so they'd be good to have around, and they're not
Yeah.
afraid of work, And
Right.
plus,
Right.
they're getting older, so the likelihood of them moving in with us one day is, there anyway.
Right.
So I might as well just get it over with, or not. I don't mean it like that. I might as well just allow the opportunity for it to happen sooner than later.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I like them. There's no complaints at all.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
even if it doesn't work out where we're sharing property, like, I think Jessica and I have been talking, like, being up there in that area, that vicinity is probably going to be where we're aiming anyway. So even if we're, like I said, not not sharing property, I'm sure we can find stuff close enough to one another to
yeah.
still help each other out
I'm
and do
also
that kind of
gonna
stuff.
I'm gonna Yellowstone Camp Hero. I'm a
What's
Dutton
that mean?
Ranch. Dutton Ranch
Yeah.
Camp Hero. Yeah. I'm gonna get a brand, and like if you do some sketchy shit with me, you got to get branded. So it's on there forever. Just prove loyalty, and we're gonna take care of stuff.
Nice.
We got to find a cliff somewhere we
Train
can put our
station.
problems. Yeah, train station. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Well, as Linda said, there's a lot of holes in Jackson County, Kentucky. And I'm
Yeah.
still cool with her, so I'm going to go eat chocolate gravy.
Chocolate gravy?
You never had that?
No.
Dude. Yeah, it's like a Kentucky thing. They make chocolate gravy.
Like,
It's
for what?
delicious.
To go on what?
Like breakfast. Instead of regular gravy, it's chocolate.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
It's all chocolate? Like, what's
No,
in
I mean,
it?
it's like it's a gravy with chocolate in it. I don't know.
Sound weird. I'm gonna have to look it up. I've never heard of this.
No?
No.
Well, I'm sure other people. Let's see, chocolate gravy recipe, and I'll tell you how to make it. Let's see. Southern style chocolate gravy. What is chocolate gravy? Is a sweet sauce made from flour, fat, cocoa powder, and sugar. It's commonly served for breakfast over biscuits in the Appalachian Mountains.
I see.
Step by step. Whisk the dry ingredients together, then whisk in the milk. Cook on the stove top till the gravy is thickened. Then stir in butter and vanilla.
How to make deep South chocolate gravy. See, I hate when they call shit like deep South.
Well, we do it
Look,
too.
man, I'm
Our
from
classes.
I'm
You want a
I'm
deep
fr
Southern recipe menu with the
I'm
food?
as from as about as deep South as you get, and this is the first time I've ever hearing of this shit. So
Well, this is Appalachia. You're not from there. That's the reason I know about it because I'm from there.
when people say deep South, I don't think of. I'm not. I
Appalachia.
no.
You
I
think of
think of like
Louisiana
I
fats,
think
Popeye's
yeah. Well,
chicken.
I think like south of I-10, deep South,
Oh,
Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, deep
yeah, but
South.
those states are still aren't they like racist, and you're not allowed to say that you're from those places or any kind of tradition or something. I don't know. I'll tell you, I've never experienced racism until we drove through. Where was that? Was it Alabama
Oh,
or
oh,
Arkansas?
where we stopped to get gas.
Yeah, and they were
That
like, there was a black line and a white line, and like I didn't know that, and they were like, "What are you doing in my line?"
it
And I
wasn't
had to go to the
smoking.
white guy. It was fucking weird.
It was really weird, dude. Like,
Where was that?
well, it was in Alabama.
It was in Alabama.
It was in Alabama because that's
Yeah,
when we switched. We switched at that gas station, and I remember
I
getting to
remember that
the
gas
interchange.
station perfectly. It's like burned in my head.
Well, it's because like the street itself, the road reminded me of a town and or part of town in Fayetteville, and it's nothing to do with demographics, just the way the street was laid out and the lighting. It was an older part of town, like a lot of warehouses and like an old industrial part of town. The gas station was popping. It was busy. It was a trucker
Yeah,
stop, kind of in town because people were dropping off loads in that industrial area and then gassing up. And yeah, walked in and there was a huge line, and I stood there and another guy walked up and I had been standing there longer and the guy looked at me and then looked right at the other guy and helped him. And I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, okay." So I looked around and I noticed that there was another line with a white guy behind the counter. And I went over there and got helped right away. And
yeah.
yeah, it was weird. I mean,
Well, see,
it's
I was
still
pumping gas. You came out, and then I went in to pee, and I got a monster or something. I don't know what I got, but I stood in the line with. I remember that black chick that was standing. I got it in her line, and
mhm.
like she looked at me, and then looked at the guy behind me, and like a head nodded, and then the white dude was like, "Hey, come over here." Like, there's no one in line. It was me. I was the only white dude in there, and I was just in the line. And apparently, like that's no,
Yeah.
I have to go to the white line. It was so weird. And this was what 2019. What was this?
2018, I think it was
Yeah, it
when we were
wasn't that
I don't
long ago.
know, long ago. It's just funny, man. You know, things happen. There's call it racism, call it the kind of the herd or pack mentality. You just kind of people tend to gravitate towards their own, and it was strange. It was
Yeah.
strange. You know, everybody was kind and cordial, but it was also kind of like,
Oh, he's not from here. This is how
yeah,
we do things here.
you're
That's
not
the way it
from
was
here,
very matter of fact. It wasn't like, "Hey, honky, get out of my
which is
fucking
crazy.
line."
That's shit that you see in a movie, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been all over Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, all my life, and I've never really experienced anything like that before. But I know that shit does exist in certain places, and it is what it is. But it does not represent the majority of America. I will say that.
Yeah. It was just weird. But that's
It
what I
really
think
was
of when I think of
weird.
deep south. I don't really think of Appalachia. So I think of like deep backwards, slow talking overalls.
Oh God. Over cover or overalls with no shirt underneath.
That's the way I told Andy. I was like, when we get out there and like this is my life now, I'm
That's
gonna
the motif. You're taking that over.
I'm gonna dress the part. I'm gonna slow down my talking a little more. And I'm gonna do when you see those YouTube videos and it's like, this is the way life used to be lived. And they talk about, some farmer shit they
Yeah.
do. I'm gonna
All right.
start
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
that. That's what Whiskey and Whitetails is gonna turn into. I'm gonna just change personas as soon as I get there. Yeah. Would y'all be down? Leave us a comment if you're gonna be down for homesteading content.
Maybe some home brewing, but not distilling because that's illegal.
Well, I'm gonna do it. So you heard it here. January 13th, 2024. I'm gonna have a still when I get to Kentucky, 100%. Just for personal consumption.
Yeah. Medicinal use,
Medicinal.
emergency alcohol for cleaning wounds and things in the event that there's some
That's the other thing
incident.
too. We can talk about that. That's a fun fact for those that don't know. When they talk about, a lot of you don't know, so that's why I'm going to tell you. But when they talk about medicinal whiskey, and then everybody's like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense." Clearly, those idiots, they were using whiskey to treat diseases Well, actually, whiskey goes in your blood system really quickly.
Hmm.
So blend different tinctures with whiskey. That way, when you drink it, it goes straight to
Yeah.
your blood system and you can have healing power. So that it was a real thing. They weren't using whiskey to heal themselves. They were using it as a method of getting herbs and minerals into your body. And they still do it today. You can buy, there's a lot of stuff you can buy today that comes in grain alcohol. It's 100 proof.
There's a lot of
Tastes
things
like
you
shit,
can.
but it gets
There's a
straight in
lot of
your blood.
things you can buy that are tinctures now that
Yep.
have like an alcohol base to them, and
Yeah.
you can taste it. So like my wife and I use these like mushroom tinctures for like lion's mane and some other things. I put mine
Mhm.
in my coffee in the morning, but she puts them right in. She just drops them
Yeah.
right under her tongue like a hardcore. I can't do it. It tastes fucking gross. But when I've tried it, they some of them have a very alcohol like flavor because or taste to it because there's
Yeah.
alcohol in it. It's used to deliver and get the stuff where
Yeah.
it needs to go.
So it's still used today. So when you see the license for medicinal, because we just saw one a post the other day where somebody was talking about um, this was a medicinal receipt, and then I don't remember the exact words, but it was like they used to think alcohol was medical or whatever, and I was like, actually, it is, and it still is today. They still use it today the same way.
Yeah. Now, were there people who went in and complained a little bit about their back so they could get
Yeah,
them
right, right. Yeah,
get through the week? Of course. Yeah,
I'm not
but
saying, I'm not saying
it
that
didn't
every
happen.
single time that's what it was used for. Surely people were getting um, medicinal licenses, just like they do with weed. People get medicinal weed licenses in
Right.
states that's legal, so that they can legally own for whatever disease they have, and they'll keep up that front, like, "Oh no, I promise, I'm only using it for glaucoma or whatever." But
Yeah.
they're just getting high.
Yeah. Controlling my it's for pain management
Yeah,
because you're a pain in my ass.
yeah. I always thought that was the scariest part of a hospital: pain management.
Turns out it's probably the best.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a
Mm,
lot of drugs in there.
yeah, probably. Feel really good coming out of there.
Yeah, I could not work in there. They'd have to polygraph my ass all the time.
Yeah. I believe it's more than medicine, though. I probably do physical and occupational therapy
Yeah, I'm
stuff too.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, my Nike Air Force One '07 LV8 low triple red sneakers just shipped.
Oh, God.
I finally found some.
All red?
All red. Red sole, red shoe, red Nike check, all red. Just for the Harley Davidson. That's the only reason I
I
bought them.
never in a million years, if you'd asked me,
Trust.
will Matt Green ever own a pair of Air Force Ones? I would have said absolutely not.
Nope. I would have said the same thing. But I'll tell you what, man, those white ones that I've been wearing, they're really
Yeah.
comfortable.
Are
But
they?
when people see them, I get so many compliments on them. And I'm like, dude, they're $100 shoes. They're not.
Yeah.
Like, I can wear $300 or $400 Ariats in here and nobody
No
will
one
say
says
shit.
shit. Yeah.
I wear
Yeah. I
$100
know.
Air Force Ones.
Right? It's all the brand recognition, man. There's
It's
something
it.
something about it.
It's just like drinking Pappy instead of drinking, like, you walk in drinking Traveler. No, no one's gonna say shit. But you walk in with Pappy Van Winkle. Wow,
Oh my God.
this guy knows what he's doing. That was the only thing I put in for the lottery this morning was the rye.
Oh, really?
Yeah, didn't get it.
Who won it? Did
I
you
don't know.
offer him some money, parking lot?
Some guy. No.
How many people showed up?
Uh, 80, 50 to
Really?
80. Something like that. Yeah.
Where did they stay outside? Because there's
Yeah,
not
it
that
was
much
all
room.
outside. Yeah.
Okay. I say that is a lot of people to fit in that little, that
No,
shop.
yeah. No, he even had a sign on the door that was like, if you're not actively buying something, please don't come in here. And so I just ignored it and walked in there and stood
Yeah,
around.
makes sense.
That's what I do. I also, for the SEWE thing, I think that we should go with the idea that we had about recording people's hunting stories. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
totally down for that. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right.
Get cool content to snip from, and
Yep.
um, yeah, I think it'd be a good time. Have an area where we can do that, and I really want to set up like a whole vibe. You know what I mean? Like I think we always have that front wall down, obviously where you can enter, but I think maybe taking that wall that's closest to where DNR is set up down, so we have like two open sides and open it up and
Yeah.
have some see if we can rent or borrow or find some inexpensive like benches or whatever. See if we can get away with bringing a solo stove or something out there to have a little fire and just have a place to chill, right? People want to buy products and stuff we got going out there, awesome, but just be a place that people want to hang out more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to do more of a hangout vibe this year than a buy my shit vibe.
Yeah, 100%. I'm down for that. The buy my shit thing comes kind of organically with just kind of being there.
Yeah.
I think if we have people interested in hanging out, I think it'll be a lot more fun. I think we probably need to have a separate meeting on this and not doing
Yeah.
all this on the podcast. But like one thing I saw last year that a couple of the places did was they bought and they put in a really tall flag
Yeah.
so people could spot that flag like anywhere around Brittlebank.
Yep.
That would be cool to do.
We don't even have a Whiskey Whitetails flag. We should definitely get one.
Yeah.
I'll take that for action.
I'll make sure to type it in the Teams chat so everybody knows. AI : M Green to purchase. So when do you think that you have that done by? I know, do you have the bandwidth to get that done? And,
It's going to be a 1 story point, so
okay,
I'll get it done in less than 8 hours.
excellent. Wow.
The only blocker or potential issue we'll have will be vendor supply. That's out of our hands. So.
Fucking meetings all day long.
Yep, that's how they go. Do you have any blockers? What are your risks? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we need to make sure
Vendor.
we're documenting and tracking that risk. And if you could follow up with me next week, so we can make sure we stay ahead of that, that'd be great. Thanks.
Herd, as they say. Whatever.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna have like a booth, so you could come in and tell your story. The only thing is we're gonna figure out soundproofing or get really good at but basically just tell us a cool hunting story, and then we'll have a number you can text pictures or videos to, and that will go in the final video that we're gonna make. We did do a lineup for the potential podcast guests this year. I'm looking forward to that set. We're gonna bring back 2 that we've done before. One will be brackish bow ties.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that conversation. We're gonna have him back on, and then also birds of prey.
Yeah.
See if we can get another bird, and we'll film all these that we didn't film last year. We'll film this year. I was supposed to go downtown today and secure a spot, wasn't I? It's okay. The wife ended up staying, so my weekend plans are different than I had.
Yeah. It's a long weekend. We got time.
Yeah, it's true. I can go Monday. I'm off on Monday, so
Yeah, I am too. I got a bunch to get done this weekend, so that extra day is going to be coming in clutch.
Yep, same. I'm going to spend the rest of the day underneath my house fixing all the shit they left when we redid the floors. I didn't realize it, but they literally just cut everything and dropped it down underneath the house and then sealed the floor back up. So I get to go under there with saws and like cut
shit up and drag it out.
Can't
Dude, this is the same company that unplugged the freezer.
Yeah. Yep. Same company that has ended with them telling me if I ever want to talk to them again, it would be through the police. That company.
God damn it. Man, I would just on that comment alone, I'd do you one better, buddy. The next time we talk will be through my lawyer. How about that?
Well, I bought a suppressor. I'm just kidding. No.
Not that.
Obviously, I'm not going to throw my life away over flooring, but yeah, it's pretty irritating. And what's crazy about it is I now know how they operate. They bring in people on work visas, and once the job's done, they send them back. So they have nothing to do with it. They're like, well, those people aren't here anymore. It's like, well, yeah, but I hired you. But I guess they subcontract. So it's a pretty good scam.
It doesn't stop a report to the Better Business Bureau.
I'm gonna do something. It depends on how bad it is when I get down there. Because I opened a thing and looked, and I was like, Jesus. And I'm gonna deal with that when the temperature gets cooler. So it's like in the 50s or 60s or whatever today. So
yeah. Yeah, I would much rather do it now than fucking July.
No, yeah. I mean, when they did it, it was still 100% humidity outside and all that. So I don't deal with it.
Yeah, I hear you. It's shitty. I didn't think they would do that, but I guess.
Shocker.
Yeah. Not too surprised.
And the reason I found out is because I needed more gray paint to fix a few things around the house.
Yeah.
And where I keep the paint is kind of underneath that room.
Yeah.
So I went to go get it, and I looked over there, and it's just insulation and plywood just blown out all over everything. It's like, well, I'm not going to crawl back there, and it's just a whole thing. I got to figure out how to do it. I don't know.
So how big is the entrance to get under there? Just like a little door?
Yeah, like maybe 2 feet by 2.5 feet.
Hopefully you don't have to cut too much because I imagine the sections they cut weren't too much wider than the floor joists
Yeah,
are
they
apart
should.
from
I
each
should
other.
be.
So
It should be fine. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. If anything, you may have to cut the length down so you can fit it in the bed of the truck or however you're going to get it out of there.
I'm just gonna put it on the road. Oh, I got a letter from the HOA about my.
After our discussion last week. That's funny.
Yeah. They love sending me letters, and I'm not even going to respond to this one. It's like you have 10 days to remedy the whatever this issue
Yeah.
they're claiming is an issue, and I'm like staring at my house, going, I don't know what they're talking about. I think it was an error. So I was talking to the neighbor about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've gotten 2 of those in the past 6 months."
Huh.
I was like, "Okay."
I've had a couple that, and it's just like, I don't like, they take pictures of something and it's just like that. I put the trash can there for like 45 minutes while I was cleaning something out in the garage, and then I moved it back. They came by during that 45-minute window,
Yeah.
took a picture, and sent me a fine if I don't fix this. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I can look around and find 15 other things on this street that are actual problems or actual potential dangers to other
Yeah.
people or kids in the neighborhood, and you're picking on my damn trash can.
Yeah.
Like, they bitch because I keep the trash can in the front of the house because the side of my house doesn't get enough sun. It stays wet and nasty. And I don't like having to walk around that to put trash in the trash can. So I leave it up front and I walk through the garage or out the front door. And I got in trouble, or I got a notice for having it out front. So they said it had to be obscured by something, or, like on the side of that. So there's a huge bush in front of my corner of my house. I cut out a little cubby for it to slide into.
Just to
And
put
I
it in?
slide the trash can inside into the
Wait, no one
bush.
can see it.
No, it just blends right in. And the way my truck's normally parked, you can't see it from the road. So
Well, that's smart anyway.
assholes. I still win.
Yeah, they I just don't get it. The way they're like there's so many things, like as you said, there's so many things that are wrong in the neighborhood. But I will say that lady that at the front that always has the yard signs talking shit about the HOA.
Yeah.
They did finally pass a thing against it, and the lawyers got involved, so she had to take everything down. Which makes me laugh. It's so stupid.
Funny.
It's so stupid. Did I tell you about talking to her? And I was like, I just don't understand the point. Like, you're spending all this time and effort and money,
Mhm.
and like just for putting up, protest signs in your yard. And she
Right.
replied and was like, "They're not protest signs; they're garden flags, which I'm allowed to have." And I was like, "Oh, so you're just a bitch then? I get it. I've totally now no further questions, Your Honor. I understand what kind of person this is."
Jesus.
Yeah, stupid. All right. Well, I'm gonna go crawl into the house and get covered in insulation, and then be miserable the rest of the weekend.
Oh, you won't be miserable. You'll be fine. I'm going to processor to pick up my deer meat, and then I think I'm gonna take the wife out this evening. So
Nice. Where are you going?
don't know yet. Don't know yet.
You going
Probably not
downtown or staying up there?
No, probably not too far because Leah's at the age where she can kind of hang out here with Gavin and Nolan. Gavin's old enough, but
Yeah.
also still at an age where, like, if shit goes sideways here, like, we need to be able to get back fairly quickly. So we just may go over to where, like, Carnes Crossroads or Nexton over there. There's a bunch of new restaurants and stuff over there. See what they got.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Hopefully you enjoy. I'll be eating a ribeye.
Nice.
Yeah.
I might too. Just I may have a baked potato and something else to go with it.
Big potatoes do sound nice.
I'll let you know how it tastes.
Yeah, please do.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, folks.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Drinking whiskey.